Hey, it's Kevin. I'm back with another little toy. I just got this yesterday in the mail. I got a Garrett Ace 250. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about these guys going out and finding coins and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be fun to go do it. So I bought the Ace 250. I've done a little bit of research on it. Read the owner's manual and watched the videos they gave me on it, and I figured, we'll go out and look for some coins. Maybe we can find some coins just to have some fun. Well, guess what? It's raining like mad outside, and it's pretty cold. It's about 45 degrees here. My wife told me, she said, hey, you know, when you get that thing, it's probably going to be snowing or freezing, and you know, usually they're right. But anyhow, I'll tell you what we got. We got a little project we're going to do today. Be our next project we're going to work on. And by the way, I got me a set of headphones with this thing too. They say they work great. So I was online, and when I was looking up this Garrett Ace 250, they had a shovel on there. And you know me, I ain't gonna buy that shovel for no 70 bucks. I'm gonna make that shovel. So we're gonna make a shovel to take with us when we go digging our treasures. I got some garbage set up here, some old junk metal that I had rounded up to make this thing out of. I think besides what I have here on the table, I'm probably gonna need a piece of maybe a piece of roof bolt. Because I'm going to need a piece of metal to go inside of this. I think this would be 1/2-inch black iron pipe. So I'm going to need a piece of metal to go inside there. For right where the base of the shovel is, where it goes into the shovel, we're going to make that strong as we can. I'll show you what I got to use and show you how I usually don't use any type of blueprint, you know, not normally, but I figure I'd draw something up for this shovel head. So this shovel head could do it a couple different ways, and I wasn't sure, so I made up a couple of them, so I'm going to show them to you. Alright, we'll start off. We got a couple pieces of black iron pipe. We need to make a handle with a piece of this, and we need to make the shovel part, the stem was going down to the head. Well, I started messing with this in here a little bit, and I'm actually trying to get that to where this thing fits right in there. So I've been grinding it up, you know, trying to make it work. Now I got a couple blueprints here, or a couple prints that I cut out just out of paper. They're about 6 inches long. I did 2 of these because I wasn't sure. I started out with this one here. I wasn't crazy about the looks of the shovel head, so I went just a little bit wider and a little skinnier on the tip. Maybe it'll make it easier to get in the ground. So I think I'm going to go with this one. It wasn't all that hard. All I did was basically get the width of my shovel, and then get the length, then draw a box, and then you just come down so far, measure it, find the center, do the same thing here. Well, on this one here, I went a little wider than this one, and then I drew my box, found the center, and I actually come down a little bit more. You see this has got a little sharper point on it, and then, well, actually, I went from here and moved it in maybe just a little bit so I get this skinny part at the top. And then I came down a little bit more on this one. That way I get a little bit more point. So you can see I got more of a point than I do on this one. So what I'll be using for the head, like what you're going to put in the ground, the shovel head, I'm going to use one of these. And if you watched one of my earlier videos, I made some fire pits. And this is that front piece that come out of that fire pit. I drew one of them shovels on there and I didn't like it, so I used a brush, tried to brush it off there. We don't care about that too much. We'll be sanding these down. But what I'll do is I'm going to put my piece of metal, or my piece of paper template here on there, and I'll trace that on there, and then I'll cut it out, and that's going to give me my shovel head. And it already has, being that it was a propane tank that I used, it has that bow in it already, so I'm hoping that'll work to my advantage. I know the ones that I seen online had a V down the middle of them, but I'm not so sure they were using this thick of metal. This is a pretty heavy metal here. This is about 1/8 inch, or it could even be 3/16, but I think more 1/8 inch. That's a pretty good heavy shovel. So we don't make it too heavy because we won't be able to carry this thing. Now, like I said, I don't have a piece of, I don't know if I'm going to use rebar or I'm going to use a roof bolt, but I'll need it to go on the inside of this piece here. So I'm going to get started on some of this and see if I can give me a shovel build here. We have the handle cut out, and it's about, I'd say, 4 1/4 inches long, and that's going to be the piece that's going to go in your hand for your shovel. That'll be the piece you hold. And then this piece I was working on earlier, I was trying to U it out, make a U, like just so that pipe would fit right down in there like that. So what we'll do is we gotta get everything cleaned up, and then we'll start welding this thing together once we get everything cut. But we'll get that squared up on there real good, and that'll be our handle for our shovel. The overall length of my shovel is going to be about 32 inches. And I don't want it too big and bulky so you can't carry it, but I do want it to where it's going to be strong, and we can dig just about anything out of the ground. Okay, the next piece I'm going to be working on is the shovel head. And I drew up a couple different shovel heads, so I picked the one I want to go with. I like this shovel head. I like the design of it. It looks good, and I think it'll be pretty efficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down on here and get it traced out. It's not much to it. Just going to lay it on here, get it traced out, and then we're going to cut it. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to, we got grinders, we got everything we need to make sure this thing looks perfect. Or as close to perfect as we can get it. Some old rusty metal here. I could have used a piece of cardboard. I think if I'd cut this out of a piece of cardboard, it went on the metal a lot better. Because that paper wants to bend. But I think it'll work out. Now we got our shovel. That's our shovel head. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on cutting this out. Okay, what we're going to use to cut that out with is just a small cut-off wheel and a 4-inch grinder. I got one here that's worn down pretty good, but I think it'll cut a lot more because I'm cutting on a flat surface. So that's what we're going to use to cut this off with. Shovel head. We're going to clean up this edge just a little bit. This may show you a little better about how our shovel is going to look. This is that first piece I cut, cleaned it up, and I got a mark on the table here. I took a piece of soapstone in a square, and I squared that up and I made it 32 inches so I know how long my handle's going to be. And here's our shovel head we just cut out. Okay? So now we want this to be strong here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I'm just trying to figure out as I go. So we're going to figure out how to attach this to this. And when I get that figured out, I'll come back and I'll let you know. Okay, I think I may have figured it out, but I'll tell you what I'm attempting to do. I cut 2 slices on this pipe here and over here. I want to slide this down inside. I want to put the shovel head down inside. It looks to be about 1.25 inches or something like that. I want to slide it down inside of that pipe. And then the back side, which this would be the back side, the fatter end, what I was going to do is cut a triangle here, and then I'll heat this up in the forge I'll heat this up good and bend it against that shovel. So I'll have this chunk of metal right here on the back part of the shovel too. Not too bad. Looks pretty good. This is what I got so far. I got that all beat in, narrowed down, and I put these two little pieces of, they're just magnetic angles. They hold things in place for you. But I laid this up like this, so I want that shovel to curve up a little bit on the end. Not much, just a little bit. I want it to be facing toward the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and weld this. Or I might tack it. I might just give it a tack and then get the backside tacked in. Now that we got it tacked, we got 4 little tacks on there. It don't look good. It doesn't look bad. It looks pretty straight on there. Everything looks pretty straight. I tried to measure from here in and there in just to make sure I got it as good as I can. Don't forget, this shovel's mine, so I'm going to be using it. So however I like it, that's the way it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get welding this thing up. Get this all welded up. We got the shovel head welded on there. It don't look too bad. And we left it go down the shovel, maybe give it some more strength in there. Now we want to start working on our handle. The handle we're going to use to hold it with and to dig with. I just wanted to center it up on there and make sure that it's square with the shovel. So what I did is I laid the shovel down like this. As long as this is laying touching both ends, I know that that back there, this is going to be square with that there. So we'll have a nice square shovel. It should be nice and straight. Well, we have the handle welded on. Now we're back to the shovel head again. I was thinking, might want something round on these, because if you stick your foot on there, it may end up cutting your shoe or something. They say you're not supposed to use steel-toed boots, so maybe if you're using a pair of tennis shoes or something. So I figured I'd take a couple pieces of just stock here, round stock, looks like 3/8, and I'd put a couple of these on there and weld them on there, and then grind them down real good, round them off, and that way it give a little more strength there. Plus, maybe keep you from cutting your shoes or something, you know. So I'm gonna get these couple little pieces put on here. It's all welded on now. We welded all the way around both sides. We welded, the whole thing is all welded now. We did the tops, everything. It's like a solid shovel now. Now, I got the handle welded on too. I welded it all the way around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cleaning this up here, because there's one more thing I want to do to this shovel, but I want to get it cleaned up first. Okay, I said I wanted to do one more thing to this shovel. Now, if you remember, you watched my ginseng diggers, the little diggers I use to dig ginseng. Well, I thought it was pretty nice that I could hook them diggers on my belt. So I thought maybe I would weld this little guy on here. That way I could hook this right on my belt, just like I do the ginseng diggers. So that way you could have hands free while you're walking around. You can just hang it on your belt, or you can use it as a walking stick basically. And it's about 32 inches long, so it's about perfect height for me anyhow. But I'm going to weld this little guy on here just so I can hang it on my belt loop. That way I can use my other hand for something else other than carrying around this shovel all the time. It's all welded on now. This little strap will go on your belt. The thing weighs about 3.5 pounds, the whole shovel. So it's a bit heavy. I wear suspenders all the time, so it's not going to hurt me any. We got it all, everything's welded and cleaned up. What we're going to do now is we're going to get it all painted up, make it look pretty. Let's see what she looks like when she's done. Well, the shovel's all painted now, and we put a camouflage. We did a little bit of a camouflage paint on it. Didn't turn out too bad. Well, the shovel's finished now. It wasn't a very big project. It's actually a pretty small one. Don't take much material to build this shovel. Doesn't cost very much either. Just some old scrap you have laying around the house can probably build this shovel. Now, I do believe they want between 60, 70 bucks for a shovel like this online. And really, it's just a couple pieces of pipe and a little piece of metal for the head. It's not that big a deal. It's not worth 70 bucks. I think my little hanger here for the, the belt, it should work out okay. It's a bit heavy, but I think this will hook on my backpack too. So I'll be able to hook that on my backpack even. So hopefully it turns out okay. I would go outside and dig some plugs. It's pouring down rain. I'm not going to go out in the yard in the rain and try this thing. You'll get to see it on my next video, because I'm sure I'll be making some videos on this Garrett Ace 250. I guarantee you that. Hopefully find some good money, or maybe even a gold coin. You never know. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for watching the video now. Until next time.